Good morning. I am Lapidus Stern, lapidot. I sign my paintings in Hebrew, lapidot. I have a beautiful exhibit here. You're all welcome to come and see it. The opening is going to be on August 18th of Av at 6 o'clock in the evening, 18 o'clock, Army time. Let's walk around and look at the paintings. All oils, recent oils. Here's a painting of wind on the mountains. The painting expresses nature in a warm wind. In the summertime, it's very clear what it is. I don't have to say anything. You can see the brushwork. If you bring the camera close, then you can see that that the painting is done in very close color range. And here it's dry brush with less oil, and here with less oil. This is called scumbling because it's dry brush over the more oily surface. And by accident, there's a beautiful eagle over here, but that is a total accident. A little few sparks in the air from a by accident spoch. It's good. The Reka, you can see here, the distance is so hazy, and up close it has a sharper definition. It's morning in the sun in August. Now we have a more recent painting. This is a painting of children expressing joy and dancing. As it says in Torah, I think it's in Lech Lecha, somehow in an interpretation of Lech Lecha by the great sages, that the adults will be like children, like young girls, when they dance for joy for Hashem, with Hashem, who will be dancing in the center. Of course, there's nobody in the center because I didn't paint Hashem. But here are the joyous children, women, children dancing in Jerusalem. I wrote something here. I'm not sure what it says. But this is a bet. I'm not sure. Vav, I don't remember what I wrote. But here are the buildings of the city. Okay. There's the photographer, my friend Val. We'll back up a little bit. You can see this painting was done by such naivete. The sea, I thought, was a literal meaning for the Kohen bath at the Temple of Solomon, which is Kings 1:7-24. But it didn't mean a sea. Okay, the sea is painted, and the 12 oxen, hinds to the center, 3 in the north, 3 in the south, 3 in the east, 3 in the west, are holding the sea. But I understood it as the tension, the great tension from the center, from the large center area, which is something visual that we can paint. We can paint this tension and its surface bubbles, and that the 12 oxen are maintaining this tension so that it doesn't spark, so it doesn't just go anywhere. And that's what I painted. If you want to close up some of the bulls, some of the bekar, please. Here's one nice guy. Here's another one. This one's very, very simple and pashut. And we continue. Here we have the semel, the logo of Jerusalem, the Jerusalem lion, as on many, many, many benches in the city, on the garbage cans, on the stationery. Here is the head of the lion, the kefir, the young lion. Here's the head of the lion and his mouth and his nose and the little ear going up here. And here's his tail, and here's one paw and another paw and his 2 feet. He's a young lion. And the background is Jerusalem. Jerusalem not at the Ir Atika, but where I live in Har Homa, with mountains in the distance. And buildings, windows and buildings. And morning yellow. This painting was inspired by Dora Europos, the synagogue in Syria that was unearthed. Because in that synagogue, there is a fresco, a large fresco, of the resurrection of the dead. And here we have a painting of mine, Happy Dry Bones, the resurrection of the dead. Because, as you see, these figures here are ribs joining with legs, and legs not quite in the right angle, and ribs, and the head, and ribs, and legs, and this guy's on a ball, reminiscent of Picasso's wonderful circus paintings. The whole thing has a joy, because, after all, it's not a burial, it's not a funeral, it's the opposite. Here's a painting of the desert at the first sunlight in the morning, dawn, a little just after dawn, when the red rays of the sun hit the land, and you can see very strong contrast of where the plains of the land are facing the sun and where the plains of the land are not quite facing the sun. So all the red areas are areas directly facing the rays of the sun, picking up the bright red. And then we have the Yelim, the Ophelim, and the Tzviim, the ibixes of the mountains, and the landscape in the distance. It's a vertical landscape, which means that the Reka is not in depth, it's high. And we have the animals very far away, and of course, we have them. They get smaller as they get higher because it's a vertical interpretation of distance.